Good morning, children. Welcome to biology class. Today, again, we'll continue chapter biological classification. And children, in this, we are going to study about the first kingdom, and that is the Monera. So, kingdom Monera includes all the primitive forms of life, and it is the earliest form of life. So, Monerans they are adapted to all types of habitats. That means they are found each and every place. They are found on land, they are found in sea, they are found in air, everywhere they are found, and it includes bacteria, cyanobacteria, and archaebacteria. Some of other groups of monorails, they are mycoplasma, rickettsia, and actinomycetes. This kingdom is also known as prokaryota. So let's start with the bacteria. So bacteria, it is a single cell or unicellular, which was first seen by Dutch lensmaker Anton van Leeuwenhoek, who named this bacteria as animalcules. After that, Louis Pasteur he made a detailed study of bacteria and he proposed germ theory of diseases. Ehrenberg was the first scientist who used the term bacteria, and Robert Koch he found that some diseases like tuberculosis, cholera in man, and anthrax in cattle they are caused by bacteria. Bacteriology is this branch of science which deals with the study of bacteria. So, the characteristics of bacteria include that they are unicellular prokaryotic organisms and the cell wall it is made up of peptidoglycans also called as murin or mucopeptide. Food in this bacterial cell is stored in the form of glycogen and fat globules. An organized nucleus is absent, instead double-stranded DNA it is present in the cytoplasm and it is called as nucleoid. Ribosomes they are of 70S type. Cell organelles like mitochondria, chloroplast, endoplasmic reticulum, Golgi complex they are absent because they all have outer membrane. Respiratory enzymes are located on the inner surface of cell membrane. These bacteria they show various modes of nutrition including photoautotropic, chemoautotropic, separatotropic and parasitic types. So here are the different shapes and sizes of bacteria. So these are the cocci shape or the spherical shape. So this is a group of monococci. Then when they are found in the group of two, they are termed as diplococci. When they are found in chain, they are termed as streptococci. And when they are found in groups, they are termed as staphylococci. And when they are found in a cubical packet of cells, they are termed as sarsen. Next shape is bacillus. Spore-bearing bacillus, then bacillus tuberculosis, rod-shaped bacteria they are termed as bacillus, flagellated bacillus, and diplobacillus. Then spiral-shaped bacteria, spirillum, and vibrio or comma-shaped bacteria, vibrio cholerae. So these bacteria they are highly specialized group of one cells and they occur everywhere in soil, water, and in air. They are present in food we eat and the objects we touch. So these are the other some bacteria cause deadly diseases. The features which contribute to their universal distribution are they are extremely simple structure, they are small in size and their large surface to volume ratio. In order to maintain their small size, cell division occurs rapidly. Then resistance of vegetative cells to adverse environmental factors and formation of highly resistant endospores and they show diversity in mode of nutrition. So size and shape of bacteria, I told you that they are the smallest of all known cellular organisms. The bacillus forms are up to the 10 micron in length. Spherical form are 0.5 to 1 micron and Bigiota mirabilis, it is the largest bacterium. It is 16 to 45 micron in diameter. The bacteria, based on the shape, they are cocci, bacillus, spirilla, and vibrio. Now, according to the flagellum, the bacteria they are of atrichous, that means no flagella is present. Monotrichous, only one bacteria is found at one end, and then amphitrichous, that means many flagella are found at one end, and cephalotrichous, that means On both the ends, many flagellum are found. Then, structure of a bacterial cell. Under an electron microscope, we can find different structures in a bacterial cell, like cell wall. It is the outer covering which is rigid in shape, and this is known as cell wall. Its thickness is about 7.5 to 12 nm in gram-negative bacteria, and in gram-positive 20 nm to 80 nm. So it lies just outside the plasma membrane, and it provides definite shape and protection from mechanical injury, chemicals, and pathogens. Now this cell wall, it is made up of peptidoglycans, that means polysaccharide. It is cross-linked with short chain of amino acids, few lipids, phosphorus, and organic salts, and derivatives of glucose called uramic acid. Gram-negative bacteria, they have another covering formed of lipopolysaccharides. Now these gram-negative bacteria, these lipopolysaccharide layer help gram-negative bacteria to live. Then comes the capsule or the mucilage capsule. So some bacteria, they develop a sheath or a capsule which is present outside the cell wall, and this is made up of polysaccharide, and it serves as an additional protective covering. Now the bacteria with capsule, they are called capsulated bacteria. Now this capsule provides protection to bacterial cells from phages, toxic chemicals, desiccation, the action of phagocytes, and helps in attachment. Then comes the plasma membrane, which is similar to all plasma membrane of eukaryotic cells, but it contains oxidative or respiratory chain enzymes. Now this plasma membrane, it modifies to form varied structures like mesosomes and desmosomes. Cytoplasm contains the granules of fats, glycogen, and proteins. And in photosynthetic bacteria, cytoplasm has bacteriochlorophyll, and in some other photosynthetic pigments, the pigments and enzymes are associated with the inner surface of the cell membrane, which is produced either into lamella or tubules or vesicles. The 70S ribosomes are found in the cytoplasm. Now the nuclear material, it is visible as a light colored region known as nucleoid. Now it is also called as prochromosome or genophore or incipient nucleus. It has one molecule of circular DNA duplex, which is supercoiled with the help of RNA, and some non-histone proteins. It lies freely in the cytoplasm. Nuclear membrane is absent. Plasmids or episomes, bacterial cell, it also contains some extra chromosomal heredity determinants called the plastids. Now these plastids was first discovered by Lederberg. Now these plastids, they replicate independent on the main chromosome. In some bacteria, plasmids contain important genes like fertility factors, F factor, NIF genes, antibiotic resistance factors, and cholicinogenic factors. Like see here in figure 2.7, this is the bacterial DNA, which is circular in nature, and this is the plasmid DNA. Now F factor is the promote conjugation. Bacterial cells having F factors, they are called F or donors or males, and those lacking F factors are called recipients or female. Now R factors provide the resistance to certain antibiotic drugs. Col factors provide bacteria the capacity to secrete colicins, which have antibiotic function. When the plasmids integrate with the main chromosome, they are called episomes. Now flagella, they are thin thread-like protoplasmic appendages which extend through the cell wall, and these help the bacteria to swim in the liquid medium. Now it has three parts: basal granule, hook, and filament. Now basal granule lies inner to the cell membrane where it can rotate. Now come to mode of nutrition. So according to mode of nutrition, bacteria, they are autotrophic and heterotrophic in nature. Autotrophic bacteria make their food by using solar energy called photosynthetic or photoautotrophic bacteria, whereas bacteria which use oxidative chemical energy, they are called chemosynthetic or chemoautotrophic bacteria. Photoautotrophic bacteria contains bacteriophile, chlorophyll and bacteriophyllin as a pigment, and these pigment located in spherical bodies called chromatophores. They are bluish or grayish in color and occurs in purple bacteria, whereas chlorobium chlorophyll is green and it is present in green sulfur bacteria. Now, photoautotrophic bacteria, they are anaerobic and anoxygenic. That means they do not produce oxygen. The oxygen is not involved in this. They obtain the H plus ions from the atmosphere or from some other aliphatic compound or some organic compounds. And this water is not split up into H plus and H minus ions. So either they get from hydrogen sulfide, like H2S breaks up into H plus and H and sulfur. Then sodium thiosulfide, it breaks up into sodium bisulfate and hydrogen. Then propanol, it converts into acetone or propanones or hydrogen. So hydrogen ions are picked up by NAD, which provides energy for the synthesis of organic compounds. So chemoautotrophic bacteria prepare the organic food from inorganic raw materials with the help of energy derived from exorganic or exothermic chemical reactions. Now, the chemical energy obtained from oxidation reaction, it is trapped in ATP molecules, and this energy is utilized in the assimilation of carbon dioxide with the help of hydrogen obtained from the sources other than water. Again, therefore, no oxygen is involved in this process. A chemoautotrophic bacteria may be nitrifying bacteria, they may be sulfur bacteria, iron bacteria, or some other sulfur bacteria to get energy. Heterotrophic bacteria draws the organic food from outside sources. They are of three types: saprophytic, symbiotic, and parasitic. Saprophytic bacteria, they obtain their food from all sorts of organic material like the body of dead organisms, rotten food, excreta, etc. They secrete digestive enzymes on the food and convert the complex insoluble substance into simple compounds. The aerobic breakdown of organic matter is called decay. Anaerobic breakdown of carbohydrate is called fermentation, and anaerobic breakdown of protein is called putrefaction. In decay, no fuel is evolved, but in putrefaction, fuel smell evolved. Symbiotic bacteria form mutually beneficial association with other organisms like Rhizobium bacteria, which lives in soil as a free-living saprophyte, but when in the roots of legume plants, they form symbiotic association. The bacteria get shelter and food from the plant and in return fix free atmospheric nitrogen into nitrogenous compound. Parasitic bacteria draw their nourishment from other living organisms called the host, and pathogenic bacteria causes serious diseases in men and animals. So this is all for today, children. In our next class, we'll learn about the kingdom Protista. Till then, thank you and have a nice day.